The chair can add, I get to do it now. Any additions, subtractions, deletions to the agenda?
Hearing none, I move we approve the agenda.
I second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
All right, agenda approved. Chair, do you want to make a comment? Okay,
You're all looking mighty fine, right?
all right, I gotta pass this here in a second. I will now accept nominations for board chair. 26-27 school year.
I nominate Asa Sarver as the board chair for the 26-27 school year.
I'll second that.
I'll accept it.
Thanks.
I meant the nomination. Because you can deny that, right?
You,
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
could. Anybody, any other nominations?
Okay.
Hearing none, all those in favor of Asa as the chair?
Aye.
Those opposed?
Guess I should
All
say
right.
that.
Asa, you.
Okay, then I'll be accepting nominations. Where are we? What did I,
You're for vice chair.
for vice chair?
I'll nominate Eric Benton.
I'll second that. Any other nominations?
Anybody else interested in doing it?
Okay, all in favor of Eric Benton being the vice chair, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Sweet. Congratulations, sir.
Here we go.
Here we go. Okay, standing committee appointments. This is, oh, yes, a standing committee appointment. So this is where we decide all these different chairs for these committees. So we have a facilities and master planning committee.
What's that
Yeah.
involved this time around?
Well, I mean, we kind of achieved a lot of our master plan, but we do have a 2030 bond initiative coming up. I think also continued dialogue about what to do with the properties and where we keep moving forward with that, which is kind of slowed. We did get a ruling on the partition. I think we'll be getting a ruling on the 1.68 acres on the other side of the elementary with the 12 lots. But that also comes back to the full board, so typically it was that, but we had a 10-year plan to centralize the campus. So I think the question would be, where do we go from here? Would be part of the question. Could look at long-term development of Wild Haven, et cetera. So really just an advisor to share any bigger input that we feel we might need for facilities.
Right. I mean, I mentioned to you some possibilities with Wild Haven,
Yeah,
so I would consider one,
okay.
if anyone.
Say that one more time.
There might be some opportunities with Wild Haven in the more near future than anticipated.
Yeah, some
Potentially.
donations to get some stuff, because we had intended to put some yurts out there and look at an opportunity to almost do our own outdoor school.
Right.
But ran out of bond money, so we didn't do any development out there. And so there might be some opportunities through some local nonprofits to look at donations to maybe get something rolling out there.
Okay.
So, and we can have two people, so if I'm gonna mark Asa down as he expressed interest, if anybody else is interested, we can have as many as two per committee without creating a quorum. So if anyone else is interested, you can just let Asa or myself know. Okay, so Asa is getting marked down for that one.
Okay, bargaining. So this is the collective bargaining, which happens between.
Which is a lot of fun. We have good associations that we work with, but at times it can get a little interesting. We anticipated being a little more interesting in the economy we're in right now, going into bargaining this spring, because well, as we know, passing the budget, we lost students and had to cut. And so giving a traditional, well, I shouldn't even say traditional, a COLA that we've given in the last 3 or 4 years probably isn't like most districts, isn't in the card, so it could be interesting in how that goes. So, again, anyone,
I'd be happy to do that.
okay,
And this year in particular, it's because the contract is typically negotiated for 2 years, right? Okay, so this is the second.
yep, we went through the biennium, and so we'll be negotiating for the new biennium, which we won't know funding. I mean, that's even the other joy of this whole thing is that we won't really know what the state's giving us, or we might know or have an idea somewhere when we get closer to it. And so it really runs April into June or July is what it does, because you meet and you hit language and you kind of wait till the state settles on the final dollar figure, and then you can figure that out. So typically how it goes.
Yeah, thanks for volunteering for that, Sarah.
Oh, sure.
I'll be
you know.
curious.
Yeah,
Hear how it goes.
it's interesting because I do two bargainings, one for
Certified.
certified and non-certified.
Yeah.
Calendar committee.
My sense is that's one of those committees that typically meets in the middle of the day.
Calendar
Is
committee.
it-
No,
We-
this last year we were able to convince Joe to do it after business hours principally, so we could have representation
Oh,
there.
okay.
From
and
all the
also
schools, yeah.
From all the schools.
Okay, okay.
At least for myself, I found it really interesting. I really liked it. Like, Joe does a really great job of sort of wrangling it and coming up with a great proposal. There was lots of good dialogue this last year about trying to make it even and fair. We got some pushback, but I think we're getting ahead of some of those dates for the next year. I mean, for myself, I'm interested in participating, and again, but I'd love to have at least one other person participate with that as well.
I can do it.
Okay. Yeah, I liked it too. So I mean, it's pretty cool. And then you get blamed for all the. I didn't say blame. I meant you get
Kudos.
praised for all
Yeah.
your hard work on the calendar.
I think the goals that we set last year at that, in terms of how to structure a calendar and how to look at when breaks fall helped, and I think hopefully Joe will be able to bring the same rubrics back again, so.
Yeah. Air quality committee. I think
We all know.
we all.
Yeah. And if you read the nugget, the Oregon Health Authority has said some, also put some guidelines out, which will be interesting. I just was at the OSAA conference, and I believe those guidelines are a little different than what the athletic recommendations are, so there'll be some adjustment probably statewide in what that looks like. So.
All right, yeah, I'm a little delinquent in getting my feet under me, but yeah.
Are you going to help with
I
that?
can help too.
All right.
Team. My staff member said she was willing to be.
Awesome.
Cool.
Thank you. Sister School Foundation. I keep questioning why we have this because nothing ever happens with it.
They give away $1/3 million.
But I mean, for from us,
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, it's not a policy thing.
no.
No, it's not a policy thing, and I sit on as an ad hoc, as an advisor for, like. There are some things that I'm like, well, that's a curriculum thing, we should be buying curriculum, you shouldn't be supporting curriculum purchases. Or it might be, well, that's a support to curriculum, it's not, so I sit in as an ad hoc, I don't know.
So
That was in place before me, and it's just always.
can
been
I
in place.
ask as a school board, what could we do differently to either make it better or participate that would, I mean.
If I'm reading the tea leaves, and Jeff, you probably have a better history on this than I do. I think it was started back when the economy was so bad and the foundation was so active and the Starry Nights concerts are happening that they were spending a lot of money supporting the school stuff, so they wanted.
Representation.
Yeah, they
Yeah.
wanted someone there involved because of that. It's not that the foundation is getting to a point where it's getting a little self-sustaining, but it's not a massive dollar amount. It is a supplement. And so I honestly don't know that the foundation would feel like it was a problem if a board member was not on that. Because you're right, I said it doesn't really fall underneath
Well, it just feels like, I mean, we should help.
Yeah.
right? I mean, it's for the schools.
Yeah.
And but we're not, we don't,
Yeah,
we should be looking at reversing it as opposed to being involved as like a facilitator, more as a
yeah.
advocator, I
Yeah.
guess. I don't know.
Well, I can reach out to,
That Reagan? No.
well, Angela Bueller
Angela.
was the president. And I can reach out and see, and I know that Treasurer Lewis is still involved and,
It's not true.
well, she has been. Yeah.
She has been, but she's
trying,
resigned.
she's trying to step away this year.
She's
Yeah.
way.
So-
In the last meeting, she announced that it was her last meeting, so.
Oh,
So
How
I'll
often
connect
do
with
they meet?
Angela and see if they're interested in a restructure, what kind of supports they would like. Because I think, previous representation was Edie and Edie was really engaged with the literacy portion. But again, I think to that point, it was a little bit of their foundation's gonna do what they're gonna do to some degree, and most of the dialogue was with me about what things we should be supporting already.
Yeah.
I'm happy to reach out to Angela and just see, I think we could pause on anyone and I can bring it back to the meeting and see if someone's interested or we can sit on it. Okay,
Sure.
unless someone's that wants to be on it, would like to be an active participant in it, that's fine too.
Like,
Cause I think you could do both.
right.
And maybe that's the structure before, maybe I don't
I
know,
mean,
maybe
did Edie attend meetings? What did she?
Yeah,
she probably did.
yeah,
Probably.
yeah, fairly regularly,
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay, so we'll hold on that one.
I feel I think we can have a conversation with them about what that looks like, and like I said, unless somebody really wants to be more involved, because I think there's nothing that would preclude that as well, I just
Yeah.
think the structure was started
Right,
back when there was a bigger financial
Yeah.
need.
okay,
I can certainly jump on there if they find that they want it. I'm also just being mindful of the April, June. Well, I think they're working. Their big push is trying to get done before April, I think, nowadays.
Yeah, yeah,
Okay. So I can if they would like to have a board member.
okay,
okay.
alright,
Superintendent evaluation.
I've done it for the last 2 years. I keep it going if.
I would-
But if there are
I'm
others,
happy to do it. I just would love your help.
Absolutely.
All right,
Gosh, Eric, you're
I know.
signing
he's-
up for
I
everything.
don't know.
I
Someone stop me now.
will because we're out of boards. Committees. All right, so I think that's all that organizational appointments. Clerk, Kurt.
This is really just publicly noticing who we engage with, who's responsible for what. And yeah, then obviously, then the new chair is Asa.
And we do need a motion to approve all these people.
Yes,
Okay,
So that's all we have to do here.
yeah,
Okay, so moved. I'll second that. All in favor of all the organizational appointments listed. Say aye.
I,
Aye. Thank you.
And there are no changes, sorry, I voted before I asked the question, there are no changes to the list from last year.
no, the only thing I think it says approval of annual organizational appointments, so I think that would include what we just talked about in your committees. Right, so that piece is also in which we just discussed.
Gotcha.
So,
All right.
So board meeting calendar, I mean, we can approve this, and of course, if we have to make changes in the future, that is always available, because this is a lot of planning ahead. So does anyone want to make that motion, does anyone see anything we need to change immediately, first of all, and then, and if not, then would someone like to make a motion?
Quick question,
Oh.
January 6th,
Yeah, is that right?
that's the question.
Yeah, I don't think it is, but.
Yeah, it does not look like
Right.
it.
Like, school's out,
Yeah,
yeah,
no,
it gets back.
It,
before
yeah,
then.
it's back, so
Yeah.
it should be around, that still looks good. I think that's, yeah,
I don't
yeah, I move that we accept the calendar.
I'll second that.
All in favor, say aye.
All right,
Aye. Great.
And again, the great thing is that you change it, we need to.
What's-
The second in that one?
Yeah, I
Right
don't-
in here.
I did.
Jeff,
That's moved,
These-
the second?
But
I didn't.
I did.
no, I moved,
Okay.
Jeff seconded. What's the second one? Superintendent coffee hour?
That's his superintendent coffee hour is usually on the same day as the board.
Yeah.
Meetings, but he's doing it on a Tuesday, it looks like.
The evening.
In the evening,
We do one,
in the evening to see if anybody, so people can't say we never do them in the evening and get mad at us for that.
Oh,
no.
And, yeah, like Jeff will show up and the mayor, and that'll be it.
that'll be,
He's only showing up once.
I think we should name it to superintendent beer hour. And-
Might have better representation, that's it.
No? Okay, yes, board policy adoption, review, AR, KG, AR, community use of district facilities, adoption policy, ABA, every student belongs, and DFA, investment of funds. Did people review these? And do they want to review these?
Did we get the community use of district facilities? I don't remember seeing all of them.
They're,
So
They're here.
I'll give you the cliff notes of that one. So the AR administrative rule on that, one, doesn't, I put it on the list, doesn't necessarily need to, I did it more so I could just talk to you guys about it.
Okay.
We create our facility use fees, and in the transition from the old building to the new fees for the elementary school had not been changed to match that of being in a different building. Additionally, our field use fees were really inexpensive. So we upped those a little bit, and so those are really the changes that we made, trying to right size based on the cost of what it costs us to run the facilities versus what we're charging. So that's really it. We delayed that. We started it last year, had consternation from one of the groups that said, wait a minute, you can't change the fees on us. We already budgeted. So we paused them for a year, and now we're rolling them in this year. And again, we'll work with our stakeholders, we're partners. The main impact of that one, especially for field use, is the Little League. So we tend to figure that out. Sometimes they do some field improvements as a part of that as well. So we tend to work really well with the partners, but that's what it entails.
do you have the policy there? Do you want,
I do.
do the fees?
Oh, the rates?
Here's the rates, and then there is every student belongs, right? That,
Yeah.
Different kind of rates.
Yeah.
okay,
Yeah, AR was not presented for the video.
okay.
Those rates, I think, are the food rates, right?
Yes, we have the food
Yeah.
rates.
Yeah. And I can send those out to you guys again. It was more put on the list to make you guys aware. It actually, that AR doesn't need board approval, but I just wanted to make you
Oh,
aware of the
okay,
change.
gotcha.
It's the next two that needs the approval,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Okay, does anyone have any discussion on these two before we ask that somebody moves to approve it? Or do you need a few minutes? How much changes in
Yeah,
Zero change.
those are just, each year they have to be reapproved.
Change the date.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
We're
so-
good.
Yeah, we're good. So yeah, I move that we accept both policies ADA and DFA, every student belongs at the best of the funds.
I'll second it. All in favor, say aye. Aye.
Are you saying that?
Are you
I am, sorry.
Aye.
Had a little shook moment.
Business finance facilities. Approve. This is student pay to
Yep,
play.
we're not changing our pay to play rates. Mileage rates change via the state or the federal recommendation. So when those happen, we make the adjustments. Nutrition services, the only thing that happened there is the adult fee was recommended to go up, so we increased that. The student rate stayed the same. And then substitute teacher is also based on what we contract with high density SD based on that, so.
Just two questions with it. So homeschool athletes, that's the same as it was last year and
Yeah, it's based, it changes slightly because it's based on a calculation of percentage of what the per student contribution is.
Yeah.
So it's a formula that may change based on the state formula. But so for example, if we have less kids, which we do, you get a little more money for each kid, so that slightly changes it, but it's the same formula.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then the other question was nutrition service prices. We've lost our free lunch offering.
No.
Yeah.
No,
This is just
adults,
separate lunches or
yeah,
This is for teachers.
and
not all of them are. for-
yeah.
It's the cost of a student lunch if they decide they want to go through the line again or.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
Got it.
Yeah, that's,
But the CMP program, we still have, yeah,
okay.
which is a bit of a conundrum because we don't have an accurate now count for
Yeah.
what our free and reduced rate really is because of the way CMP is calculated differently. And poverty count is also often old census data, so it's really inaccurate throughout the state. So it does create some problems with how we get our poverty calculation. That's a whole other thing that the state is looking to explore a better
Okay.
way of doing. We'll see if they get there, but that's part of the challenge.
Okay.
But yeah, we are paying for and serving a lot more kids under the CMP program.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Great.
I have a question about the pay to play fees and like gate fees that they charge. Where in the budget does that show up as a income?
They're in the special revenue funds, in Fund 201. I know the pay to play fees go into the black and white, that doesn't show in the budget, it's not broke out that detailed.
Yeah.
But it's in that Fund 201, and that's also where the gate receipts go.
Yeah, well, I'll just say that even for our, speaking of homeschool or our charter school kids. There's it's legislated what you can charge for athletics for a kid who doesn't attend your school if their school is if your homeschool is their school and they don't have sports in another school. So charter school kids who go somewhere else who live in sisters, we can only charge a certain amount, even though we get no money for them. And it does not come close to meeting the cost per athlete of what we
Wow.
are doing. I mean, and as a part of our mission to belong, just like with our co-curriculars, we have funded it. We were free 4 years ago. We had to put something in to gain a little money. The pay to play brings in about $50,000 a year. It just offsets it a bit. It's not enough to run an athletic program by any means. But it does offset the cost. And I think Matt typically about covers our officials' fees throughout the year off of the pay to play. That's about it. But then transportation, coaches, all the other stuff is out of us. Question.
If someone has anything, I move that we accept the business finance facilities fees and rates as outlined.
I'll second that.
All in favor, say aye.
Hi.
Aye.
Perfect. Superintendent report.
I think just a couple of things to be paying attention to. We did talk that we are in a bargaining year next year, so that'll be interesting. Where the state goes with, the budget will be interesting with declining enrollment. That's gonna be an interesting, discussion. Although I go back to, there's a whole nother discussion about the state putting a new quality education model committee together to decide what that looks like. For those that historically may not remember, they did this some time ago. 15, 20 years ago, Jeff, probably. And ever since, they've never funded us at the quality education model. They write a white paper every year saying why they can't fund us at the quality education model. So now they're claiming maybe they need to evaluate what that is and what that looks like. So that'll be interesting to see where that goes. The reality is, unfortunately, with a little bit of declining enrollment, even with improved enrollment, it's hard to match the pace of increased PERS rates, healthcare, COLA, inflationary trends, all the stuff that are impacting the cost drivers. So it's not to be doom and gloom, but it's going to be an interesting entry into this next biennium to see where we are. Let's see, we're still moving forward on the property as we talked about. We engaged the state in some village facilities assessments, so moving forward to 2030 and a maintenance bond. We've got some, I think, some really solid information back from the state to start creating our checklist of things that we're gonna need to put on that list of things that need to be done. That includes both the middle school roof and a high school roof. I actually think their estimates are low. However, they estimated more in the middle school roof than they did the high school roof, which doesn't make any sense because it's not as much square footage. So that'll be interesting. Let's see. End of the year went well, as well as it could. I think we were, it was good to get kids and staff going. We have some good hiring, getting us lined up for next year. That's positive. Yeah, I think we're also making some headway with our homeschool cohorts and open ed, and looking at how we're moving forward to try to bring folks back, looking at some flex programs. So all very positive and I think exciting in where we're going. Ignite is still running strong. We're having kids look at that, which I think is also another exciting kind of way to frame an internship for kids and give them a different experience. So very excited about that. Concerned about the state and where we're going. I just got an email that what's our plan for not matching our hours? I'm like, matching our hours from 24 to 25. Well, I think we are actually above our hours. Well, I think with the movement of transportation in the elementary school, maybe our elementary has, which we are over an hours, has an hour or two less than it did from 24, 25. So now we have to create a plan to show how we're gonna, so I gotta dig back into the state regulations is, I guess what I'm saying is gonna be interesting to see where those go. Specifically, I'm not worried about the instructional time when we'll make a plan that won't be a problem. Well, unless they remove the 30 hours of conferences and the 30 hours of professional development is not counting, then that'll have an impact. What will be interesting is the accountability measures, what that looks like, whether that's going to be sustainable from the state level. For those not familiar, the accountability measure is you have 7 goals that was in our integrated grant, basically lined up with that K2 attendance, overall K-12 attendance, and then all the testing that we do at different grade levels, 3rd grade reading, math, et cetera, graduation, on track rate. What the interesting is that the answer I didn't get, well, that I wasn't happy with when I went to the accountability session for the COSA conference was, if you decline by 0.5% but are still well above the state average, does that mean you're not going to be put on guided goals? And the answer was, well, we would hope people would use common sense. And my response was, well, it hasn't been my experience. So it'll be interesting with 197 districts throughout the state and 7 goals that everyone has to show improvement on. And if you don't, or if you decline in 2 years in a row, you're going to be put on guided goals. Who's going to coach that? How do they have capacity to provide coaches at the state level? Right, all this stuff are questions that, and oh, by the way, let's see. It's on the Smarter Balance test, which the state has allowed anybody to opt out of. So how do you judge people on an assessment that everybody can opt out of? And then secondly, you know, my concern on attendance is, at both ends. You have people who do well and earn a vacation time, and they're gonna take their family on vacation, be gone for 10 days. And they'll make all that stuff up and they'll have a plan in place, but we're not gonna dictate that with families. And then secondly, we have families who work 2 jobs, and if a kid's sick, they need a sibling to stay home and take care of them. We're not gonna stop that from happening. So the measures really concern me that, you know, we're how those are gonna get impacted, what that looks like. So that being said, I'll be interested. Some people have said they're not even paying attention because they don't think the state can even enforce it. So, but right now it's a bit of a hoop jump. So that'll be interesting to see as we move into next year. I'm just gonna transition to the next one. I'm really excited about the hiring we did. I think we have some good folks. That's always been our strength, is the people that we have working for us. You know, there's some challenges here and there, but I think we our folks did well in the hiring process, so we're excited about that and getting ready for next year. Our kickoff next year, we're gonna have Scott Crabtree do 90 minutes to 2 hours with the staff on Belong. So that'll be our all staff on that Tuesday for in-service in the morning. So we've already got that set up, and anybody's seen Scott, and he's doing that because he, out of the goodness of his heart, and wants to help support the school. So it was a great opportunity, and fits right in one of our buckets. So it was a great opportunity. And I've seen his presentation. It's really, really solid, really strong. So we're excited about that. I'll leave it at that.
Great.
Yep. Any questions from anybody?
I have a question about the attendance thing. I
Yeah.
remember someone at one point mentioning that part of the issue with the attendance numbers can be around athletics. And
Yeah.
kids missing from
I mentioned that, yes.
Is there any move towards like not having athletics on school days instead of
Oh.
having like Friday, Saturday for athletic? I mean, I know it'd have to be more district, like
Yeah.
your league wide or whatever, but if that's an issue, why would, I mean, why
Yeah,
would
that
you
is,
play Friday nights and Saturdays?
that is a challenge, and that is why we did early release Fridays, because often we played a lot on Fridays, so it made sense to do that, both in the fall, and we have tried to move, which is hard for moving soccer games even to Fridays, right, when they're usually Tuesday, Thursday. Because everyone wants to watch each other play, and so it actually would work out. As far as that school spirit stuff, so we've looked at that. That was one of the conversations around even thinking about a 4-day school week, not a 4-day or 10-hour day school weeks, but 4-day school week, expanding the school year a little bit and having Fridays. Not only that, but for place-based learning, field trips that we do, you wouldn't be pulling kids out for an IE trip, for ecos, for any of those, right? You'd have those days available. The trump of that was basically childcare, right? For the families who need kids to be in school on Fridays because they work. Trying to figure out a childcare system that would, if we were to do that, we would have to hire people to be available so we could do some kind of programming to support folks. That's the only way we think it would fly. So it kind of stalled there. But yes, I agree with you, but the problem is that the 8 other schools in our league or 7 other schools in our league don't want to do that.
Okay,
Yeah.
so it's the play, the
Yeah,
other
we
schools.
tried to do it as much as possible. It's why baseball now, instead of doing 3 games in a week, they do a single and a double header because it eliminates a travel day. It used to be 3 days a week, which was horrific.
Yeah.
So they have done some concessions, but it's still a challenge when we have to travel a long ways. Yeah.
Any other questions? Great, board business is blank. So.
Yeah. It's improved all the
So consent agenda, the minutes from regular board meeting and the budget hearing minutes. We have 1, 2, 3, 4 new hires. I thought we had more than that here. Oh, Sullivan's resignations. So 4 new hires, 2 resignations. And then. An adoption. Of this agenda.
I move that we adopt the consent agenda.
I'll second that. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Thank you. And that is just about it, except we have another announcements. We have our board meeting August 4th. That is a Tuesday, August 4th.
Yeah.
With a board work session on superintendent goals
Yep.
that evening.
And it's my birthday.
Nice. So we moved it to your birthday?
Yeah.
What you always wanted to do.
We'll have a drink afterwards.
Okay, fair enough.
Or
Well,
not, see your cardiologist next time.
yeah, there you go. So I will call this meeting adjourned at 6:07.
Thanks.
Yay.
Thanks, Sharon.
Thank you.
That wasn't so bad.
All right.